Hello my friends, welcome to your practice. I'm Dionne, so honoured that you're here with me. So today I thought we'd have a little practice where you can add a bit of zing into your day. I've never said the word zing, but here we are. Don't know, I just felt it. So for the practice, feel welcome to use a yoga block if you've got one. You could substitute that with a book or even a cushion or a blanket is really nice as well. We're going to start lying on our backs. Have your prop handy, whatever you're using. And you're going to take your knees to bend, feet to the floor, and then bring your arms by your sides, and you can experiment with where feels good for you. So maybe your arms are straight, maybe the elbows are bent, maybe the fingers or the elbows are in line with your shoulders. If you've got any kind of shoulder stuff going on, it might feel better to have the arms a bit lower. And then think about dropping back into your support. We talk about this all the time in our practices, but the biggest practice I think for so many of us is to trust and to really lean into that support that's always behind us. And I find a really nice way to explore that, especially if we're always #working on it all the time, lifetime. Think about your belly button dropping back into the floor, and then let that go, and you can play with that sensation. So it's just like there's a cord that helps you to sink back. So as you sink back, hopefully you can feel more of a connection behind you. Maybe you feel a sense that there's this like a switching on. That's in fact what we're doing, thinking about the navel, the core, the center. It's just language. I think of the center as everything coming together, and in fact, that's where we're going today. So wherever you are, just really tap into that zing of your belly button, just dropping back. And then experiment with lifting one heel, then the other. So like tiptoes. I'm not going to sing. And then maybe that extends to one foot, then another lifting. And you can go super slow here. In fact, the slower you go, the more likely you are to be able to really sense how this area hugs everything in. It draws everything together. Not in a sense of holding or forcing, but rather just like, just feeling that integration. That felt really cheesy, but you know what I mean. So those of you that are feeling pretty integrated and pretty kind of comfortable in your spine, you could experiment with just lifting both feet away from the ground, just keeping that sense of dropping back as opposed to I've got to lift my legs. So use the support. So let the effort be less work. So like exploring this idea of effort and surrender, we do the work, sure, but we also do it intelligently. We're not overextending. All right, so from here you're going to pick your feet up to a kind of 90-degree angle. Take a moment, draw the navel back, and then extend the legs, maybe point and flex. Reach for your prop. Put that between your thighs and then hug, like hug in. At this point, just notice where you feel sensation. So it might not be as much in the navel. You might feel it a bit lower down, and this sense of the outer hips now switching on. So this is still all core connected, right? It's just everything working together. So less Peter Andre six-pack, more everything just hugging in, switching on, lifting us. Bend the knees, maybe 90 degrees if that is possible. If not, just let the feet go. Arms out to the side. Then just very lightly start to take the knees a bit to the left and a bit to the right. Very small movement. Try and keep the backs of the shoulders on the ground. So use that sense of support that's behind you. Drop into it. So back of the shoulders drop back. Navel is dropping back. If at any point you need to take a break, just remove the block. In fact, let's just do that together now. Remove the block, bring the feet to the floor, release the prop, soften the belly. So as soon as you release all of that effort, really allow that to be absorbed everywhere. So really allow that softening. So effort and surrender, we need both. We're not going to do great if we're pumped up and like holding everything. and trying to push forward with so much effort, not going to last for very long if we don't also take rests and breaks. We'll just burn out, right? So from here, let's switch on again. Navel in, pick up the feet, hug your prop, arms to the side, experiment, rolling, and then maybe if it feels comfortable and you can keep the backs of the shoulders dropping back, maybe you exaggerate that into more of a twist. So knees dropping towards one side and the other. And again, slowing this movement down is also going to intensify it. So let's see how slow we can go. Just taking the knees over, keeping the back of the opposite shoulder resting into the support. Don't be hard on yourself if it lifts away, that's okay. Maybe you can think about the interconnectivity between the direction of your knees, the navel drawing back, and the shoulder, this diagonal, dynamic connection. Okay, so to add another layer to this is an option. Let's take the knees over to the left, draw the knees up towards your left elbow. So that's going to be deeper. Hug the prop if you're not already, so give it a little squeeze. Navel draws back and then arch the back a little. And then come back to center. Over to the other side. So knees are higher. If that's too much, lower the knees down. Keep squeezing, arch the back. And then come to center. Remove the prop. Feet to the ground, take a pause. And then from here, pick up the knees again, hug them in, chin towards the chest. Now take the hands behind your thighs, and you can use your legs, and if this feels okay for your spine, maybe that idea of the core dropping back, and start rolling. Sorry, Winfrey. If it doesn't feel good to roll, you're gonna just move onto your side, just roll to your side, and push yourself up. Bend your knees and take the feet to the floor in front of you. If you're rolling, your challenge today is to keep that connection and then see if when you roll up, you can balance. Just find a point of balance. Remember, balance is always shifting, doesn't have to be static, but explore. Maybe the feet hover, maybe the feet are on the ground. Try it out, see how it feels. Now we're going to transition into boat pose. So find that navel drawing back. Take the hands towards the low back and draw in and up. So it's like a hugging in. Not trying to make anything smaller, but rather just drawing all of that energy in together. Very powerful point, this navel point. If it feels accessible, just take the feet further out in front of you. You can bring the knees closer if that works, or take them further away, arms out. Ooh. So lift the chest. So now think from whatever is touching the ground all the way out to the crown of the head. So feel that sense of core support, this center channel. Hug the thighs towards each other. Lovely. Then cross the left leg in front of the right leg. And rather than having the feet close, take them further away. Then soften the belly ASAP. And then just feel, it's almost like, I don't know, I want to sing Mariah Carey Honey right now, but maybe that's not the right song. But really feel that sense of temperature, the heat perhaps dissipating. Or maybe you feel it in terms of sensation and this softening of the core. We need this too. As much as we need everything to work together to help us get where we're going to go, we also need the softness. So now walk the feet in opposite directions, flex the feet strongly, and option to fold. So really turning in, drizzle. So without the softness, we can't have that zing, that kind of fizz. The fizz has to come from somewhere, right? It's like, think of the little bubbles. Like, I don't know, I haven't had a bubbly drink in a while, but you know, like a bubble bun. Yeah, think of how a bubble moves. I'm sure you can imagine in space, like there's a charge to it and it moves forward, but it's also full of this space and air, right? So when you inhale, come back up, unravel the legs, feet to the floor. Option to do a little roll, and then we're going to do the bridge pose again, okay? So if you're going to roll, pick up the feet and then round. So you kind of need to surrender the back body, just let everything kind of, in fact, let's try that. Just sink in, sink, until maybe you just feel that tipping point, the tipping point of the action. So the next time you roll up, experiment with finding that place of balance. So press down. As you press down into whatever's touching the floor, feel how that helps to lift you. So you've got that focused attention. Thighs hug together. If you want to use the prop, feel free. Lift the low legs, hug, hug, hug. You can also use the prop, putting it between your feet. That's going to add a little layer of spice. So whatever you like. From here, bridge pose. So this time take the arms up and then take them over to the right. Then take the arms up and over to the left. Take the arms up and then lower everything towards the ground, but hover the limbs. Hover, 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 hover. Hug everything in. Hug, hug, hug. And then rise on up. Oh, there's a spicy meatball. Remove the prop. So this time, other leg crosses. Soften the belly. Walk the feet in opposite directions. And fold forwards. So drizzle. Find the softness. Know that we need the softness, the tenderness, the kind of nothingness, the space. And then when you inhale, rise on up, unravel the legs and just send them behind you. Let's just take down dog to clear that out, and let's do that with our prop. So whatever you're using, put it between your thighs, tuck the toes, really, really tuck, 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 walk the toes towards you, spread the fingers, lift the knees, and upside down we go. Just pausing here. So finding this neutral space, and it's almost like the belly and the chest can, they're almost like a hammock. They're just sort of hanging, draping, while the rest of the limbs support them. Bring the knees to the floor, remove your prop, sit back on your heels, so tops of the feet to the floor, soften the belly, pause, and then shift your weight to the right, so just kind of one bum cheek down, one bum cheek is up, and then from here, left hand to right knee, right fingertips behind you. As you exhale, twist. So lengthen as you inhale. Maybe stay where you are or deepen the twist as you exhale. Maybe look over the back shoulder. Maybe keeping the twist, look forward. And then unravel. Find center and then flop. Find your support and inhale, get tall. Then exhale, twist to the left. Maybe you look over the back shoulder, maybe you gaze forward, then unravel, find center, soft belly. Now sit on your toes, so tuck the toes, rest your hands on your thighs, take a moment, squeeze the knees together, then reach the arms out in front of you, lean back, and then see if you can hover the knees, squeeze, 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 let the heels come to the floor, rise up, and then lower the knees. Rest on your feet, turn the palms up, soft belly, maybe even cradle your belly. Notice your breath at this point. Notice temperature, pulse. Just appreciating all that this, not just belly, but core, everything working together, what it does to help support you. But also appreciate that with that effort, we can afford to offer ourselves ease as well. So I hope that you feel a little bit more zingy, a little bit more fizzy. Let me know how you go. Feel free to repeat this or do this at the beginning of another practice, add it on, and yeah, see how it goes for you. Thanks so much for practicing with me. Have a great day. Bye. Oh, and also I'm doing live streams. There we go. I'm so useless at that point. I'm doing live streams. If you want to join me live, check out the link below. Dionne.space/online.